I was just talking about the composition anyway, but this is what we're working with. This is what we're working with.
I think.
Thanks for the heads up.
Last round also we probably should switch off the Doomfist. They had a Hanzo and a Sombra which both countered.
Okay.
Are we gonna hold this high up?
No.
Now we're just getting some ult charge. We got 0. Hopefully the fire airstrike got something.
Sombra's,
yeah, Sombra. I've been hacked. Oh my.
Speeding out a little bit. Oh,
yeah, you're right.
splitting
okay,
up.
Your Ryan's low.
Oh.
Just didn't have my shield.
Okay.
Fine.
What happened?
I've been hacked. Oh my.
I've been hacked. He goes to the nearest corner. I guess makes sense, yeah, since he got hacked, unfortunately. Like, disengaging this way while hacked would let them shoot him the entire time. What SR are we at? That is a very good question. I believe diamond something? Keep the long pause. One of our players' computers crashed. I see him on the server. Ronana. He seems to be diamond. Seems to be diamond. This is some kind of scrim. Anyways. So yeah, getting hacked with Reinhardt, that's usually why you don't hold this close. Unless you have a brawl comp like already that wants to fight like ultra super early. Or maybe if you have like a Mei that's gonna be ready with the wall from here or over here. Those are pretty much the only situations where you actually hold this close. Otherwise, you would rather hold closer to the clock tower behind, because that way Reinhardt, if something happens with Rein, he can actually move into cover, because now he goes to the closest cover available, and this is up here to the right, but unfortunately that puts him out of line of sight from the Ana that stands all the way over here, and he also splits up from you, and like you're standing in front of the entire enemy team looking at you. So this is a scary moment. There's not a lot he can do here, actually.
Your Ryan's low.
Just didn't have my shield. Okay, we're fine.
It's up there, Ryan.
Hey, Sean's being hacked.
Left.
Okay, big lags.
Okay.
It's a pretty decent wall right
Guys,
here, though.
play slow.
Get out.
I'll be back. Almost back.
So maybe paying attention a little bit more to where the Ana is. I don't think you've actually thought about where she is, or if she needs help in some way.
On. I almost got the Ana. Just got slapped right before.
But yeah, when the Reinhardt dies like that at the start, I would actually suggest just... oh shit, I went back way too far. Nice click. But yeah, when the Reinhardt dies that early, I would actually suggest just walking out with the rest of your team and like regrouping out here, waiting for the Reinhardt to come in again, and then fight anew with your main tank. Because losing your main tank and the enemy team having theirs while you have 0 ults to like make a play with is very difficult. It is very difficult.
I think if I just go in, it's gonna be feeding.
Should we switch? I think we should switch off Ryan on this section.
Yeah. Let's run the triple support.
So okay, you can like let them get 1 or 2 ticks.
Okay.
Regroup with the Ryan and then fight.
Left side.
But I guess I can actually open up Stat Banana. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Just to explain the positioning thing a little bit more. Okay. So, we're holding point A. By having a Reinhardt over here, and your Ana over here, like your long range spam over here, like usually like the Ana or the Ashe will maybe use the car as cover, use this the clock tower or the church or whatever this is in the middle. It's a church, I believe. As cover, this is usually what happens. So having the Reinhardt over here together with the Zarya, the problem is that they have like no route of escape. The closest one is to hide in here, but that cuts like line of sight, cuts off from all of the other teammates. And the only like other decent option is to retreat this way, because that means that your teammates can move around this side over here, and the Reinhardt disengages it this way, and you're gonna have line of sight, and you can fight around this area. At least that gives you some kind of way to regroup with your team and stick together. But that's also usually why Reinhardts do not hold this close. They would rather hold back here. So you have the Reinhardt shield like this, protecting your long-range damage dealers and your Annas and shit. And then if something happens to the Rein, well, then he can take one step to the right and hide behind this corner. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And he gets to recharge his shield or whatever. And if they push this way, well, then your Reinhardt just moves here, holds his shield like this or like this, depending on where they want to push. And if they keep walking all of this way, well, then the Reinhardt can just hide behind the corner. And as soon as they are close to this choke here, well, then your Reinhardt steps out and matches the shield, and you fight again. Your long-range DP damage dealers and like Annas and shit will probably be standing a little bit further behind to get this longer sightline over here. But anyways,
What do I get
So
right now?
someone's gonna be
Right?
behind you guys, so be careful.
so we get out.
Okay. Because we aren't gonna have the actual comp.
You just want me to jump up?
No. We need the six.
Oh,
We
Han's
might
a
have
stagger.
lost this fight already with
Summer's top
Brennan
right.
being down.
This is
What do I get
something
with
that a lot
A
of
lot.
people do too in the
Oh,
lower
I-
ranks, like standing around and kind of doing nothing while the rest of the team is regrouping. I believe you were going to retrieve your Winston over here. So what happens here is like they're standing, they're shooting, they're dealing a little damage, they're farming old charge and all of that. But as defenders, you run a big risk of actually getting picked off here. What if your Ana dies here? You just lose the fight. What if your Hanzo that's up here dies, as we just witnessed? Then you lose the fight again. Very important to regroup as 6, be very disciplined about this. Even if you do lose some more ground and some more space, some more just areas to fight in. I would say it's definitely worth it to get into the habit of forming up as a full 6-man group before you actually go in.
What do
Super
I
fucking
get right
important.
now?
Someone's gonna be
Right?
behind you guys, so be careful.
But anyways,
No. We need the
you
six.
lose your Hanzo. And we're lagging again. Stuff
Wait,
is happening.
Arm
I'm
packs.
holding Sean until we get.
I guess.
So we went for a play here, but we're still 1 down.
This is not.
Wait, what happened to your Ryan or Winston? Didn't
my-
you...
Lucio was half.
Oh, what is this team competition? We swapped our Reinhardt. Didn't you talk about a Winston? What happened? What?
This is not
I'm confused.
optimal.
You are now very dead.
Yep. Alt advantage is just not going well.
The thing is though, look at this. They just popped 4 ults to wipe you here on the bridge, and they aren't even close to capping. They had nobody on payload. They didn't even push or do anything. They just wiped you. But if they aren't pushing the payload and wiping you, you're happy about that. It doesn't matter that you get wiped, because
Oh man.
they aren't moving the payload. And how do you win the game?
Yeah.
You win the game by moving the
Do we
payload.
want that on this third point though? And
Yeah.
I mean, we're just okay. I was just seeing. Actually, yeah, we still have time to contest second point, so that's fine. We're good.
Okay, remember to speed your teammates to get them out of spawn faster.
Okay, Sean, you have to
They're
initiate.
coming down
Let's go,
left.
let's
Okay.
go, they kill Summer.
Now they're probably gonna grab soon. Here it comes. You beat.
They have
Shit.
no Ana.
So just a small thing. When you know you're gonna need to beat soon, do not jump. You only increase the cast time because the sound waves don't actually start moving until you have hit the ground. So you want to be as close to the ground as possible when you press beat, at least if it's reactionary, because you have to react fast and quickly to damage. And you saw like 2 people being critical over there. So jumping here before you even wall jump a little bit. So you touch the wall, you wall jump, you get super high up, and you press Q like around here. So it's gonna take all of this extra time instead of just being ground level and pressing beat, and you get this small little arc instead. So your poor Ana here almost died.
Lucio's 1.
Lucio's
Yeah, no,
down.
but just barely made it.
Zarya's low.
The Ryan's just freaking hammering me. His
Zarya's
big
off the side.
beefy Hammer.
Good shit. Some decent wall riding, some pretty okay aim.
Okay, here.
I like.
Never mind.
That's fat.
Oh, that was close.
Oh,
That was close.
Ryan
I like.
fell off. Oh wait, no.
Oh, wait,
fat.
what? He did not fall off.
Never mind.
He did fall off. Oh my god, that's so lucky. That is actually ultra mega. He was going to be fine, but he landed on this like slanted bridge thingy.
Oh, Ryan fell off. Oh wait, no, he got
Guys,
moved on.
point.
Yeah, I got him.
Widow's
Actually,
No, no, we don't all need
insane.
to go point. We have people who can deal
No,
with
I was
high
just
ground.
saying,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
someone on point.
I can be a point contester though. I don't think I should sit alone on point, which kind of
I can
sucks.
also
Actually,
contest
I'll just protect the I'll protect the squishies up top. We can have Trevor.
Where is
Shout
she?
for the Widowmaker.
Mid.
We can have
She's yeah.
Right room. That's where she was. Doorway.
When she
Hey,
rotated
Widow
left.
coming up top.
Oh, you just yoinked to that armor pack, Michaela. Hey,
Oh,
Zarya's coming up top.
Yeah.
Zarya.
Hey, Ryan behind
They're
us.
going
Widow-
behind, they're going behind, they're going behind.
okay, some
Hey,
very
on card,
aggressive
Ryan.
positioning.
Hey, and Widow's.
And you're
back
using
towards
amp
her
for
spawn.
only yourself.
No.
No, dude, the boot.
How did that happen?
Behind.
I'm hacked. Widow dead.
Oh, the boop.
I'm dead.
Got Zarya.
Easy game.
Okay.
All the lags.
Ah,
The lags are unfortunate.
is Lucio on cart?
Brendan, stop typing. Fucking walk back, dude.
He's low.
Sean, we won the fight.
God.
Ah, god, dude, I couldn't track him at all.
Aiming at a jumping Lucio is quite
Yeah,
difficult,
I'll
so
start
don't
playing
worry
card.
too much about that.
I headshot someone.
But well, so far we've seen some serious Reddit Lucio syndrome. It did work quite well here, but you will get punished for doing stuff like that. You gotta be a bit more sneaky about it. Gotta be a bit more sneaky, come from weird angles, utilize like wall jumps and wall rides to make it hard for you to get punished. Because like what you did here, you had like the Reinhardt and the Zarya. The Reinhardt and Zarya were standing like here, and then you had another enemy like here, and you wall rode like this, and then you were standing inside of their entire team. If they turn around, or if just the Reinhardt should be turning around, but like if just Zarya turns around and maybe one more enemy starts shooting at you, you will probably be dead here. It's like being able to get into their entire backline and like doing all of this shenanigans and then going around and getting here and then getting a boop is not gonna work when you get up to the higher ranks, when people are a little bit better at aiming and reacting to quickly to situations. So another thing that this forces out, since you are doing this this very aggressive rotation, or not even a rotation, but kind of solo flank, you're also forced to use amp speed just to like get out and save yourself. So you're not using like amp to heal your teammates or to move your teammate into a favorable position. You're just using it for yourself.
Widow dead.
Nice. Good picks, Sean. Shutting down the Widow.
And during downtimes here, a very good thing to do is to tell someone that can scout. In this case, it should probably be the ball, because they have a Widowmaker, so I understand like why you're afraid and having a little bit of a defensive position here to watch out for the one shot. But that's why ball is so cool. Ball or diva or like any tanky hero actually that doesn't get one shot. Use those heroes. Tell them to scout for information. You need to know where the enemy team is coming from, because if your entire team is only looking at this part of the map, they could suddenly, well, yeah, like this Reinhardt here,
Nice.
suddenly popping up on the right. Like this should never come as a
Thanks, Sean.
surprise.
Shutting down the Widow.
You should always be knowing where the enemy team is going, what they're doing, and prepare for it. Prepare for it by saying like, okay, it looks like they're it looks like they're going up the stairs on the right here. Everybody sets up, gets the crossfire angles. You get the ball like ready to slam over here, or maybe push them off the high ground, and all of that shit. So like getting surprised by where, especially low mobility heroes like Reinhardt are coming from, is not a good sign. Especially not in a like team environment where you can talk and you can communicate and you can give each other
Lucius
information.
one.
Oh,
Zarya behind.
That's why it's split out of Michaela.
Ooh, the big
hey,
legs.
I think we should take the
I
fight.
tried to sleep him, but he got bubbled because he
Lucius half.
Okay, now we have beat again.
Now, so.
They use shatter.
Oh my gosh. Got caught on that.
Oh,
Nice
Nice
kill.
move.
Okay.
Lucio low.
Mines probably weren't even necessary. But
We're on point, guys.
Yeah, if you
Good
do
luck.
want to use beat like aggressively, it's kind of an aggressive play. It feels like you did it on reaction because you got shot by the Widow.
Oh my gosh. Got caught on that.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like it. So usually you do want to save. You do want to save your beat here to counter some kind of enemy ultimate, like the Discord probably. No, the Discord. What the fuck am I talking about? The shatter that just hit your teammates. For example, it could be the grab as well. They still have a Zarya, I believe, and you did counter the grab perfectly last time.
Nice
Nice
kill.
move. Lucio low.
mines.
Check Discord after. Can you come 10 minutes before Scream tomorrow? I want to talk with you about stuff. Okay, sure. No problemo.
Probably weren't even necessary. But
We're on point, guys.
So now your team popped 3 ults, and the enemy team
He's
popped
out, he's
0
out.
ults.
Building
So
her
you're
translocated.
gonna have to get ready and prepare for big, scary team fight right now.
This
I
one,
guess they
right
did
here.
shatter.
Right
They
here,
actually
in front
did
of us,
shatter.
in front of me.
Okay.
But yeah, do prepare for probably a grab,
Work on your,
probably a dragon.
This is
Balls
like
on
the
top.
main building, you know what I meant.
No,
They
I
still
didn't.
have a Hanzo, right?
No,
I
I
actually had
meant.
no idea what you meant.
You're right, yeah, okay, it's fine.
Ball here.
Also like
Ball.
thing right
I
here.
missed my thing.
Um,
'cause
Widow
Yeah.
top. Widow jumped down.
Try more.
Okay,
I
we're
got
kind
it.
of being
I
the
missed all my
payload. Oh, here
shots.
comes
Oh
EMP
my.
as well.
I don't know where
So countering EMP, I forgot they had the Sombra. That was my bad. But anyways, yeah, countering EMP, for example, would be perfect for a hero like Lucio. Usually, or not usually, but at least if you just look at the mechanics of EMP and Beat, you'll see that EMP pretty much counters Beat by removing the blue shield HP entirely, like as soon as you pop it. So beating when you know the enemy team has EMP is very, 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 very dangerous because it can instantly remove it and hack your entire team. So there comes a little mini game here, because if you wait and you hide inside a room somewhere or hide outside of range from the EMP, and then as soon as you see your team get hacked, you pop that beat to save everybody, keep them up while they're hacked, and then you can maybe turn around the fight. That's a very important aspect of playing Lucio and Zen as well, with these very, very potent defensive ultimates. So it becomes a little bit of a mind game between Zen's and Lucio's and Sombra's. So if you have the Zenyatta or the Lucio hiding away from the rest of their team and pop their ult as soon as the EMP comes in, well, then they're gonna save their team. So Sombras often have to choose between looking for the hiding defensive ult or EMPing the front line instead. So that forces the Sombra into an uncomfortable position where she has to make a choice instead of just getting a free team fight win by hitting everybody out in
No,
the
dude,
open.
come on, I couldn't get into a safe position.
Summer has no
I got knocked
trans.
out.
Locator.
Dang it.
Yeah, but you should be happy about this.
Oh,
They grabbed when they didn't
Play
even
slow,
need
play
to.
slow. Play slow.
Alright, we know we just lost
okay.
that fight. There's nothing we can do about that.
Just play slow, man.
Play slow means like you don't play aggressive. Like play back,
Yeah,
try to stay alive so that
Are
we can get the
we
recontest.
contesting this?
Yeah, we can contest it. We can contest.
Unless I get body blocked. Well, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Can we go, Zarya?
Ball.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
good
Been
aim.
purpled.
On the left.
God.
Okay, let's see how we hold this part of the map. So the the thing that went wrong in this on the second part of the map, we could actually talk about that a little bit. This is more to focus on like the team aspect of the game and not so much on your Lucio mechanics per se. But you had no information at all of what happened on this part of the map. You had like some guy maybe standing over here. You had some guys standing on the bridge. Like you were mostly standing either like in this area. But you were most of the time looking in this direction. So you saw what happened over here. But this doesn't really matter. What you need to know is what goes on over here. What way is the enemy team going? What are they doing? Are they maybe going through castle immediately and like fighting you from behind? Are they going up here to take control over the high ground? Are they maybe going through castle up the stairs to take the high ground? Who knows? Those are the options they have. Like they can go main, they can go up these stairs, they can go through castle and behind, or they can go through castle and like either up the stairs here or up the stairs here. So these are the options they have, and you need to know beforehand what they're going to do so that you can tell your team and then formulate a plan and react accordingly. So some more scouting will help you a lot. And of course, you don't need to know the answer or know what the reaction should be, but just starting with actually knowing where they're coming from is going to help you so much, so that you don't have to react suddenly to unexpected circumstances instead of actually pre-planning and having a premeditated action.
Sorry.
You're fine. Was that just for her?
Yes.
They switch back to the round.
Go Ryan.
G13, dog.
Fine.
It's alright, I killed Diana.
We get Ryan, we're going.
Nice.
They use B on a, like, push.
Okay, they wasted beats. This is nice.
That's fine by me. 'Cause now
I don't
can
have
do
my
it.
ground pound yet. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually worked. Huge. That was actually okay. I'm okay with this kind of aggression because even if you die, you have respawn advantage. You just killed their main tank. There's no way they're gonna push, and you're gonna come back in time for the next fight. So I'm actually okay with those kinds of aggressions.
Luckily, Sean will be
You were really close to dying, but it was fine. You got their Zarya.
back first.
You got a lot of ult charge.
Peeking mid.
If the Ryan tries to push him here, I'm playing.
So this is a little bit
Zarya, right?
dangerous. Okay, now you're actually positioning correctly. Good shit. The Reinhardt is probably closing in on Shatter, so you wanna hug corners as much as possible, or like hug walls, since you are a Lucio. You have that wall riding ability. You do not want to get shattered. Saving beat to counter or help save teammates that are shattered on the ground. It's gonna save your ass. Maybe even using it if they combo it with Dragon or something. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, we're fine.
Yeah, watching out for the
Oh,
Reinhardt
I
okay.
think
here
that was
Kill on,
with the
kill on,
Ryan,
kill on.
yeah. I don't know what she was doing.
is important.
Ryan's half.
Yeah.
Hanzo's half from main.
It is
Try to kill-
interesting
Zarya
that they're
has some
pushing
charge,
when their
and
Zarya was
if we
still
can
dead.
Make her not keep that. That'd be pretty lit.
But yeah, your wall riding is definitely really fucking
guy-
good.
you
I like
guys
it.
ready?
I like
They
it.
have technical
Oh, hello,
points.
Evolution.
They got, they got
Yeah.
Welcome to
they
the stream,
will.
my friend.
But if we can hold it, then we
How
can
you
hold
doing,
it.
man?
That's pretty good.
Doesn't matter who wins.
Yo, okay.
Oh,
That was a
unfortunate.
well-timed shield on his part. Yo,
Wait, what happened?
Doesn't matter who wins.
Oh, did he just try to shield bash the Ryan and then she died? Yeah, okay.
yo,
And where is your Ryan? Oh wait, you don't have a Ryan, you have a ball. Oh, I didn't even notice. You kept the ball from second point. Okay, that's also probably a pretty big mistake. Reinhardt on this part of the map is actually insanely strong. Like you can see this part of the map, like a Rhine shield perfectly blocks like the entire way here. So you can always fight behind a Rhine shield and be perfectly protected while you slowly push up and what do you call it? Take space, move forward, pressure them, bait out cooldowns, and then perhaps win with some kind of ultimate.
Yo, okay. That was a well.
Okay, they
well
use
functioned
Nano.
on his part.
You use Dragon and Beat at the same time,
as well.
and they just move back.
Also
Oh,
aim.
mines as well.
Dude, how did that hit me, dude? That's
Minus one.
stupid.
I'll be back with Rally.
Hey, McCree's behind.
In a
Trying
moment of time.
to amp heals your Ammon, but he just fucks off. Here comes the Grab Dragon.
Dragons.
Oh, and we rally?
Oh no.
Give David
Oh,
Nano
no.
and Raph.
We rally 3
Oh,
versus
no.
6.
Yeah. Nano.
Let's go.
Yes. There we go.
Watch that, Nano.
Nice
I got
stun.
Watch that.
They want me bad. Okay. Yeah, they hard targeted me. That's unfortunate.
And the Nano Blade did not work
Sorry,
out
guys.
either because it was a 3 versus 6.
Hey, come on,
Sean.
come on.
Behind.
Oh, never mind, never mind.
Zarya
Yeah.
half, Zarya half, Zarya half.
Nanoed.
That's a lot of critical health. Okay, back up. We can get another fight. Just
Okay, so
Brennan, if you die right now.
I'm a quarter to blade if we can hold
Shouldn't
this.
have used that just yet.
Well, I was trying to get a pick.
Alright, can we touch?
Yeah.
speeding the Ana,
Hey,
this is
Can
good.
we get
On
on
it half.
Now you just want to try and survive for as
Yo,
long
that
as
was
possible
A
here.
dumb purple that they're on a god.
I almost have mines.
I got
Yeah.
stunned even though it was past.
Thrown
Oh,
around
the
in
mines
back
are
by the
actually pretty
Lucio.
good. That's a huge boop.
Oh, we got him.
Huge boop, my man.
I think it was actually more of my mines. But
I like it. I like it. That was good. That was good.
None.
Now this is
Yeah, we
actually
should've-
the other
if
way
we just
around
would've
of most
switched up the
Lucio
runs,
players
right,
that I
like,
see.
honestly,
Most
the
Lucio
ults weren't
players
even worth it, we should've just switched.
have some pretty good like game sense and like ult usage, but they don't have good mechanics. You're the other way around. You have really good mechanics, yeah, like your wall riding and your aiming and your boops and all of that shit. You're getting a lot of like solo value, which is really good in like solo queue comp and all of that shit, because you do have to sometimes be able to get value by yourself because your teammates aren't always going to be that bright. But in a team environment, the game sense aspect becomes more important. The timings of your speed boost, like, are you using them just for yourself, as we saw here, just to get out of sticky situations that you yourself put in, or are you using them to actually move your team from point A to point B to get them into favorable positions, to maybe disengage from an unfavorable position, and then be able to retake with a better cooldowns or a better opportunity later? That becomes way more important. And also utilizing beat to counter ultimates and not using it to just save yourself either becomes super important as well.
Switched off.
So that's I suggest. I guess it's hard to simulate since most of the team comps aren't really the same in pro games, but maybe try like analyzing when and why people are using amp and for what reason. It's gonna help you a lot, I believe. Okay, let's see your attack though.
Ball or
Wait, what?
Shut your mouth.
You only had defense? Oh. What the hell? How did I...
Summer is good on this. I
I
should
think
be
we
able to
should.
Excuse me, can someone explain to me what is wrong with me? Why did I start with defense? I just completely missed their attack. Okay, it doesn't matter. You got the defense first.
Run.
Let's see what you run on attack. Spicy, my dude. I'm just waiting for my VOD review with my broken finger. Oh shit, unlucky, dude. Broken
I
finger?
was also thinking Hanzo.
I can't.
What did you do?
Can you?
I can go Hanzo.
What have you done, my friend?
Okay, Dan. One thing.
Sean.
I think you should learn.
I
either how
have
to play
not
Sombra. I know. I'm just saying
Overwatch
in the
a long
future.
time, and I just want to play people I'm comfortable with.
That's-
Doomfist, Genji.
That's fine, but I'm just saying for the future. Try to learn either Sombra or Hanzo.
I would never learn Sombra. I hate that character so much. I hope she
Hanzo-
dies.
Unlucky. Sombra is so much fun to play though. I got
And I
assaulted by a volleyball.
don't have-
Ouch.
Yeah, just
Ouch. Yeah, volleyballs can be quite aggressive. They are fun. They are a lot of fun.
That's number one.
We have a
We're
Rhino.
behind on
They have a
Mikhail.
Tracer.
Okay.
Sombra.
good reaction to the call. Good reaction to the call. It is your number one priority to keep your Ana alive. Your number two priority is to move these guys from point A to point B. So I can already see some a little bit of a mistake over here. So what you want to do as a Rein Zarya composition when you're trying to push through chokes is you want to use speed boost in the most vulnerable position. So where are you the most vulnerable? Let's open up Stat Banana again. Where are you the most vulnerable? I would say it is when you're walking from this point here to, yeah, either all the way into them or up here. So like you're gonna be the most vulnerable around here. Why? Well, because usually what most teams do, they have a bunch of DPS heroes that are looking at the choke, or maybe even someone standing up here looking down at you, and they're gonna spam damage. They're gonna spam damage straight at you, straight at the shield, and you're gonna take a lot of damage. So now that we have recognized that this area is the most dangerous one, then we need to, I guess on this point in particular, you do need to scout if they have a Mei. Because if they have a Mei, like hiding in here or in here to wall off this choke, you might need to stack a little harder on Rein and pop speed boost 3, 2, 1 in a coordinated fashion to get through the choke without getting walled off. But that is a little bit difficult to do or coordinate for people that aren't used to or haven't practiced it in a custom game together. So what I would suggest, if you ever run into a Mei on this part of the map, just don't play Rein Zarya. Just play Pharaoh Mercy, Winston, Diva, anything that doesn't care or a shit about this choke. Pick Tracers, pick Sombras, pick Balls if you want, and all of that shit. And Pharaoh Mercy, of course. That way, because trying to brute force this with the Rein Zarya against Mei is more often than not going to end up in disaster. Anyways, this is the most dangerous part of the map, so we pop speed boost as soon as we get to that part of the map. Like here, we're taking damage, we're taking damage, we're taking damage.
Number one.
We have a
We're
Rein.
behind on
They have a
Mikhail.
Tracer.
We're saving our Ana.
Summer.
We're still taking damage here though.
Summer's hacked on the left.
And this is the problem.
He's in the right room.
We have been walking so slowly here that the Rein shield is already cracked. Just from moving from this point to this point, the Rein shield is already cracked.
She's on the right. Brendan, do you know
Right.
your directions?
Look.
That's the second call that you go
Not
the wrong
thinking.
direction.
Yes, because I'm
My barrier broke,
facing
my
the
barrier
other
broke,
way
my
'cause
barrier
I'm
broke.
Summer.
Back up, back up.
And his barrier is broken.
Back up,
Run.
Ryan,
So
Ryan, Ryan.
this is the problem. This is the problem. And a way to deal with this is to, can we get a better angle over here? I guess this is good enough. If you instead of walking through here in the open where everybody can shoot you and the Rein shield is gonna get fucking destroyed, you can go through here. I guess this is a little bit dangerous, so like walking through main is fine, I guess. But you gotta pop that speed boost. You gotta pop that speed boost and move your team into position. Either to fight and brawl together with your Rein Zarya, try to take some space by being aggressive, because walking slowly and just taking a bunch of damage is not going to accomplish anything. It's not even going to give ult charge to your Reinhardt. So try to coordinate your amp speed together with like Zarya giving bubble to the Reinhardt and your Reinhardt walking in and swinging. That should be like the basic engagement tool that you have as a Rein Zarya Lúcio match or comp, I mean. So like right here, the Zarya actually bubbled herself too. The Zarya bubbled herself, and it doesn't look like she has a Lúcio on her team. Maybe she does, but I can't see it from this direction. So if she doesn't have a Lúcio here, she should be dead. You pop speed boost, you tell your team to like just run straight at her, and she's going to go down eventually. But yeah, we're being way too passive.
Not, but it
They just click
Well,
left
Bonzo's
clicks
gonna take a while to
Run.
get back.
into
So
our
Ana's
face
down.
until we
He's
die.
down main healers.
Ryan's low, Ryan's low.
I guess the Rein did overextend.
Run down. Heal
And
David, heal
feed.
David.
Lucio's low.
Trying to heal him.
Hey,
Oh,
Sombra,
really?
Sombra, Sombra. Okay, Sombra's
Nice,
just
nice,
on
nice,
right.
Nice.
Alright.
Left side, left side.
Go Summer.
Mid.
We
Try
win.
to
Okay.
stick with your team with the speed aura. Good shit. It's okay. You were really lucky that they overextended there, because they had just won like 1.5 team fight against you guys,
You didn't contest.
and they would probably have a lot of ults.
Who's
So
card?
you should
I
be
got it.
pressing tab here. Look what ults your teammates have.
Yeah,
Look what
card,
ults
be
the
careful.
enemy team has, or probably has. Like you could guess that they're gonna have
Oh, they have Sombra too,
Shatter.
right?
They'll probably
Yes, they
have.
got hacked.
There it
Oh
comes.
my.
They'll probably have Grav soon as well. The Grav Dragon combination. They'll probably have Nano because that charges up really quickly too. You're 90 on beat, so their Lucio's probably really close to beat as well. Try to formulate a plan around how you're gonna deal with this.
Oh, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to countercharge the Rhine. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't.
Zarya's hacked.
Yes, I got
it.
She has grab.
Charging.
Zarya's grab.
What?
I can
He just
EMP
baited
that
you into
fight.
Yeah,
charging.
your main tank's dead.
Yeah,
This is not
but
the
I still
time to
gotta pick
fight.
with it.
Ron is
Yeah.
low.
Sorry. Oh, dang it.
Beat isn't pretty much never enough to counter Grav Dragon, unfortunately. Trance is really good to counter Grav Dragon because it just totally negates it. 300 healing per second and 300 damage per second is equal to 0.
We're just something
So,
you can work with because I actually got the.
The problem with Beat is that it more often than not is not enough to save people,
Oh,
unfortunately.
That's less of a dub.
It's
And
like
as
we
you
have
can see-
5 ults.
We have.
They did use EMP though. They did use EMP for some
we
reason.
actually can probably
So
win
that's
this.
good. That's good.
Just,
Let's grab
they
it.
have. They still have Anna's back. Anna's back. She's in the building.
I don't want to use 3 ults, but if possible,
Even
grab
so,
it.
Anna went low. She's probably going up the stairs and.
Oh, with
Hey,
the
someone
bombs,
behind,
with the
someone
bombs.
behind. She's
Alright,
got
They
hey,
would
it.
die. They would
With
die.
not
They would
point
die.
with me.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
Lucio low. Lucio low.
I got hacked.
Drop the
Anna-
Sombra in front of me.
Anna's right.
Okay, they
Anna's
Demon's
right,
hacked. Demon's hacked.
Lucio's behind us.
So yeah, now we're staying with your team. I like
Lucio's
this.
behind
I
me.
like this positioning.
Lucio's half.
You're booping the Winston
That's
away.
fat,
This
that's
is
fat.
actually
Monkey
pretty
low,
good.
monkey low.
Somewhere behind on.
You're
Grants
amped
are behind
though. Why
Lucio's
did we
half.
amp here?
That's
We popped amp because we used EMP.
fat. That's fat. Monkey low. Monkey low.
Somewhere behind on high ground. Somewhere behind
Okay,
on high ground.
I guess that's fine. But if you do
That's fat, that's
if
fat.
you do amp here because of your EMP, then you should probably put it on speed so that you let your teammates go aggressive and chase whatever it is that is hacked.
Somewhere behind
And
on
get a
high
bunch
ground,
of
somewhere
kills.
behind on high ground. Going up there to knock her off.
Baby Diva's half. Baby Diva dead.
Hunter's down.
Lucio and Anna
Somewhere's still up
behind.
there. She's started killing me.
Okay, Summer's translocated
Lucio's
down.
1 health.
And I
He's
jumped
wall
down.
riding
though.
below.
Oh,
Yeah,
That was
go into
scary.
the lower room.
I'll probably grab here.
Monkey's back. Monkey's back. Going into that
Hey,
building
Jane.
with you guys.
they're not even contesting. What are they
I don't
doing?
know where the Summer went.
Oh,
Hey,
come on.
Lucio's
They are
behind
contesting.
going for a boop. He's hacked. He's hacked.
So now,
Oh no! I
remember that bubbles cut off healing. So your amp over here is not doing shit to poor old Zarya in here. And another very important tip to know with Lucio is that your aura works for 2 seconds, even after you have lost line of sight with the player or with the person. So in this situation, what you can do is juggle the this line of sight trigger. So you pop amp here, you heal your Rhine, you walk into the bubble, you get the heal onto the Zarya as well, and then as long as you move in and out of the bubble at least every 2 seconds, you're gonna heal both of them.
didn't expect that.
Same thing with Beat. Beat is also blocked by
bad.
all kinds of
Okay,
barriers.
it's fine.
Summer's
I'm
behind.
hacked in the back. I'm hacked in the back.
Monkey. Oh, dang it.
I need help.
Oh, that was pretty well played.
Oh god, I'm dead.
I think that's a lost fight.
Yep.
What?
Whee!
Jumped off.
You have died.
They have going.
There's half a behind some.
Oh,
Behind
what happened
all
here?
the way up top.
Take out the people who are on top.
They're all up top, guys.
Okay, we're
all of
taking them
are.
off the high ground. This is pretty
Okay.
cool. Our Ana needs help though.
Sleeping with the team.
That is your responsibility as a Lucio.
Monkey's hacked.
Gotta
I'm just not
keep a
as fast.
close eye on your Ana. Keep her alive.
Somber's
Speed
low
her
and
around.
on the
She also has a
left.
really bad mobility.
On a health pack that she has hacked. She came out. Somber's half. Back on her
Lucio's
health
hacked.
pack.
Lucio's hacked. He has beat.
Okay, now we're amping heals.
Okay, I think
Yeah, yeah, I just need
I did see a tab press there. What else do we have? We have pretty much everything except grab coming up soon. Okay, pretty cool. And they used, they don't have Zarya anymore. I don't remember what they used last fight. Anyways, You could play some kind of counter dive thingy with the Sombra. Just have the Sombra wait decloaked. Like have your Rein Zarya and your Ana Lucio stand close to each other. Doomfist can do whatever he wants. But at least the core, you four, stand together. They're probably going to engage with their Winston Diva. And that's when you counter dive with counter the dive with the EMP
Okay, I think
Yeah.
and collapse on them.
I could use some
Is probably what I would suggest in this
Careful.
situation. Okay, they bomb. That should be fine.
Oh,
It was not fine. They bomb an EMP.
Yeah.
It's okay. They use tools. You just die and go next.
they're running.
It's just that
Like the
first
ball
check makes it
triple
really
heals?
difficult. Yeah, ball
Well,
triple.
we have.
you want to
It's
do it?
too
We have ults.
Or-
We have EMP right now though.
Yeah.
Well, EM,
Okay, they're
Oh, he
I
say
stay
Sombra.
Sombra.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
single
Right,
combo.
right,
I
right,
play
right.
Sombra.
Okay. Are we going main or through the building?
Where
I
are
think
we
we have to
going?
Yeah, my DPS was pretty trash. Like I said, I did not touch a PC in 3 days. I was hard bot mod. Unfortunate,
Main,
dude.
'cause I have-
Unfortunate. Yeah, go warm up for tomorrow, and show me your DPS popping off. I believe.
Back
Hanzo-
base.
Main.
Main. Yep. Yeah, they're up high ground. there.
in Hanzo's
Hanzo's
in
high
hand.
ground.
Anna's the only one
Three
on
more high
high
ground.
Okay, on
Oh, that hurts.
I'm about to be down.
That hurts. Okay, where was your EMP
Main,
here
yep.
then?
Yeah, they're up high ground.
Hanzo's
there.
in Hanzo's
Hanzo's
in
high
hand.
ground.
Anna's the only one
Three
on
more
high
high ground.
Okay, on
Unfortunate.
Okay.
I'm about to be down.
Everybody's
Gotcha.
dead. Your Sombra is nowhere to be seen.
To hack beat or
That would have been a perfect situation to counter EMP
Great.
them.
hack
So-
Lucio next fight.
Oh well,
Yep.
it happens.
David, as soon as you shatter, I'm gonna nail you.
Okay. They're playing high ground. We need
Yeah, they are.
to force them
Wow.
off.
That was a nice shot.
Monkey's on me.
Yeah, he's on back.
Popping up immediately. It's good.
Okay,
Should-
he's just trying to stall.
Should probably get out of this room. Looked like you had time to do it here.
Okay, he's just trying to stall.
Yeah, he's killing me. Because I couldn't get out of there.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent
Where is
Winston
he?
ult. Always try to
Oh,
go
wait,
out. Always try to go out
see,
into
trying
the
to
open
support him.
and
He
don't
doubled
don't fight with the Winston
can't
in
see
a
him
in
at
an
all.
enclosed
I'm
room.
just going to a health pack.
He's gonna juggle you inside.
He's still
It's
on me
fine.
in the back.
I hacked 4 of them, but you guys aren't.
Hey, why?
Oh,
Not there.
good boop. That's a dead Winston.
we have no time,
Huge.
Trevor.
Well played. Now we just
Okay,
need to
is
touch.
Somebody able to touch?
No, I can't.
You're faster.
No.
No, I'm not.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, did they take the speed boost off Nana?
They did that 2 years ago.
Did they actually?
Oh no, poor Anna.
Did that in like season 3 or 4.
I thought it was still fast.
That was the Beyblade meta. That was a long time ago. Oh well. Anyways. And yes, like your teammate said here, like forcing them off the high ground is pretty good. Let's see if you press tab somewhere. I need to check their heroes again. There we go. It is okay, but I mean the Ana and the Lucio were not standing on the high ground. I believe they weren't for the most part. The people standing on the high ground were like Winston and Diva. And the thing is, with your composition being Rein Zarya, going to the high ground and like forcing them off is not actually going to force them off, because you will eventually have to drop down with your immobile tanks onto the payload. You will eventually have to do that to be able to move the payload, and they can just wait until that happens. They don't have to fight you at all. They wait until your immobile tanks move to the payload, and then even if you have forced like Hanzo, Winston, Diva, and all of this shit off the high ground, they can just jump up there again. The Sombra can do whatever she wants. Hanzo can wall climb. Lucio can wall ride. The only one that's actually stuck on their team is Ana. But you don't really have a team that can chase the Ana, unless I guess Doomfist can. Doomfist can go on some kind of flank and maybe jump onto the Ana together with your sombrero. But yeah. So going through main is actually not as bad as it looked. The only thing that needed to happen was a little bit quicker reactions to when they're dropping on you. Because your time to shine is when they drop. When they drop on you and start fighting, That's when you have to react quickly and accurately. That's the hard part. That's the really hard, difficult part. Like your Zarya needs to like bubble the supports, because bubbling the Reinhardt is not. It is gonna give you charge, but it is not gonna help you win the game. Imagine if your Zarya bubbles you there when you use beat, you probably win that fight actually. Get beat to your entire team. You had like EMP, Shatter, Nano. You had everything ready, but then you could never kind of get here because they just cycled ults correctly all the time. So yeah, that's the downside of having Rein Zarya. You don't really have a lot of options. Even if you make this rotation, force them off the high ground, you're gonna have to drop down anyways. And then your supports, if you let's say get your supports up here, then Winston D.Va can just jump your supports, and they're gonna be forced down anyway. So the end result is like ±0. The only thing that you lost was all of the time that it took to get up on the high ground. So just walking down main is actually not as bad as it sounds. I guess it does save you a little bit of Rein shield, because if you do walk down main, they will spam you from over here, and your Rein shield, like when you're walking forward like this with the Rein shield, it's gonna be a bit more damaged than if you go through the stairs up here and drop down. Actually, so maybe doing the stairs rotation is worth it. But anyways, yeah, your mechanics are good. Definitely notice that you have played a lot of Lúcio, especially in like maybe deathmatch. You do know how to kill people and boo people and wall ride. But now you gotta go to the next level and start thinking about like, what is your team comp good at? What does your team comp want to do? Like as the main support, it is a little bit your job to be the shot caller, call like what ults to use, when to use them, what ults to counter from the enemy team, start thinking about what they can do, what they will use, what they can use, and where you want to go during the team fights and all of that shit.